Hello there again, my spiritual, psychic, and light-based entrepreneur friends. I wanted to make one more video for you today relating to this idea of you building and growing your own light-based business, your own spiritual, psychic, or holistic business. Um, and this is more for, well, it's more for all of us actually. I was going to say it's more for those of you who are just getting started out, who are in the first, say, 3 years of building your business practice. But really, it's something that even those of us who have much more experience, we need to keep coming back to it. We need to remember it. Um, and I do believe that most successful spiritual based entrepreneurs always come back to this. Um, and it is understanding what people are buying from you. And we could even interpret this, even more widely here. I know when I say that word buying, we're thinking about the exchange of money. And it is my position that in order to have a business, there has to be some kind of energy exchange. If you're not receiving for your products, services, or creations, you don't have a business, you have a hobby, which it might be a wonderful hobby, but it's not a business. Okay, so part of just the workings of what separates a business from a hobby is that there is a financial exchange of some kind. I guess it wouldn't always have to be money. If people want to give you a car or a house, or that doesn't usually happen too often, but we don't have to rule that out. But most of us charge a fee or a price or something like that for our business exchanges. So when you're having a business, and let's say you're starting out, as a Reiki master, or an animal communicator, or a psychic, or even a yoga teacher, or some other kinds of hands-on healer, or working in the mystical realms, or an astrologer, it's important to understand that the people who are coming to you might be interested in the field that you're in. Like, they might be interested in the psychic realm, and they probably will be. Like, if you're a psychic selling readings, or a tarot reader, it makes sense that they wouldn't be going to a tarot reader if they weren't at least a little bit interested in the tarot, somewhere, even if it's only subconscious. Okay. And the same thing, if they're going to a yoga class, they must be a little bit interested in yoga, a little bit at least, if they're willing to show up at a yoga class. If they're learning Reiki or attending a Reiki class, same goes. They must be somewhat intrigued by this idea of, energy medicine, energy healing. But really, when people are especially seeking to purchase services or products even, they're not usually thinking when they wake up, okay, most of us, some who are more, let's say, experienced and advanced, people who are more familiar with your work might be waking up and thinking, I need a Reiki treatment with such and such, or I need an energy release treatment with such and such. Those are going to be your people who are already in your tribe, who are following you. We'll talk about that in a minute. But when you're newer to your business and you're starting out, or if you're more experienced and you're trying to get new clients, what does the new client, what are they looking to purchase? Well, they're looking to purchase a solution to a problem or issue. Let me restate that. They're looking to purchase a solution to a problem or issue. Actually, they may not even be looking to purchase it. They may not even be thinking, I want to go out and spend money on this, but they are looking for an answer, okay? And they're looking for an answer to a problem. And it would be good to start noticing early on what kinds of problems you're good at solving, okay? Or what kind of problems your work is good at solving. And I know that sounds so mundane, and to hear a psychic say that, you might be kind of shocked that I look at it this way, but believe me, when somebody asks me what I do for a living, and if I know it's somebody who doesn't, is not really familiar with psychic work, I say I'm a psychic, I might say I'm a medium, an astrologer too, and I say, well, basically, I help people with their problems, and I will also add, and I talk with dead people and spirits, uh, and I read star charts. Okay, but basically, I help people with their problems, and you know that's true. Now, I also help people with their spiritual growth. That's true, and I bet you do too. But again, most people don't, wake out of, get out of bed in the morning and think, yeah, I'm going to go hire somebody for my spiritual growth. They don't do that, especially if they don't know you. Now, once you've established a relationship with you, with them, they might think that. Uh, but if you're thinking about attracting new clients, actually, one piece of advice is just get good at solving somebody's problems, whatever kind of problem you want to solve. Um, and it's going to be different depending on what you do. I mean, and how you do it. Like for me, as a psychic, I think there are many psychics that, actually, one of the essential, I think, tools, or one of the essential directives of being a psychic or a reader of any kind is that we help people deal with uncertainty about the future. You can't really solve that for them because the future is always going to be a little bit uncertain, but we help people. I think if you're a good psychic, you can help people feel more at ease with the future they are emerging into. So if any of you are readers, actually, if you're counselors of any kind, write that down, okay? I never thought about it that way before, but that's true. Maybe next time somebody asks me, what I do for a living, I can say, I help people deal with the uncertainty of the future. There's the truth there. Also, many psychics help people deal with love life problems or career issues or family issues. If you get a room full of psychics or readers together and they start sharing about different readings they've done, I think you'll hear a lot on those kinds of topics. That doesn't mean you have to specialize in that, okay? And I'm not telling you that you have to niche either. I know niching is a big thing. A lot of marketing teachers talk about that. I'm not for it. I'm not against it, okay? I think I would be for it in certain instances. And that would just really depend on what field you're in exactly. And also your location. Like where I'm at, it doesn't make sense. I think geographically it's not a very populous, area. So it doesn't make sense for me to niche because being a psychic is pretty much a niche in and of itself. But that being said, I am niche. It's more important, I think, to try new things, to get out there and do your work, to maybe just respond to the problems of the people in your circle. So, that's kind of niching, but it's really just serving the people. You see their problems that they have around you and you meet them, okay? And if you end up niching that way, that's fine, but it's more of an organic, it's more of like you find your niche, you discover it rather than, trying to force it. I'm really more about finding your style than finding your niche, your personal style, and that would probably be a video for another time. But I think that expressing your own personal style through the work that you do while you help your clients solve a problem, that's the most important, and that's what's going to help you stand out in your market, so to speak, in your field. And everybody has a different vibration that they like, a different style. So there could be, 50 Reiki masters in an area, or 10 yoga studios, or, 20 jewelry makers of, crystal jewelry. But if somebody likes your style, they might choose you over the other person. That is assuming you're solving their problem or their desire. So think about that most of the new people, that you're wanting to attract have a problem and they're wanting to get help with that. And that's probably what they're going to pay you for. Okay, it sounds real obvious when I put it that way. But so, like if you're a Reiki master, they're not paying you for Reiki so much as they're paying you possibly for pain relief. stress relief. I don't know because I don't know your potential clients who's in your circle, but these are just some things that I know some people who pay to get Reiki done, and I know this is what they're really wanting. Okay. Um, Maybe, somebody kind of, they want a psychic reading, but they really want help with their relationships, or they really want help with their spiritual based business. Um, they want help making decisions. Maybe they want help relocating and they're contacting an astrologer about that who can do astro relocation, for example. Um, Start to think about that. Start to really lean into the heart of you know, what problem is it that you can solve, or what problems? It's probably more than one. And how can you take your readings, your yoga classes or your dance classes, what you do, whatever it is you do, your healings, how can you take that and meet their needs with that, their desires? Actually, I should say desires, because that's the other thing when you work with people, and especially if you do the deep work like I've been so honored to be able to do for these years, and really work deeply with clients. Of course, that's not everybody's cup of tea, but that's mine. Um, you'll start to see that they'll come to you for one thing, but it becomes obvious to you that maybe what they're really needing is something different. But that's okay. You meet them where they're at. If they need to get this one problem solved over there because that's important to them, like if they need to have their pain relief before they work on making healthy changes in life, that's okay. Meet them where they're at. If they need to get, help with their own psychic awakening and just feeling at ease with that before they want to learn how to read tarot the runes, that's okay. Meet them where they're at. If they need relationship help before they're willing to explore their past trauma that has brought them to this point, that's okay. Meet them where they're at. At least in my opinion, it's okay. Some people might say if they're not interested in doing the real work, you don't want to work with them. But, if you're new to your business and trying to get new clients and you don't have that many, even if you're not new and you're trying to get new clients, how much expectation do you want to put on your new clients or your new customers? I think that's something worth exploring. That being said, as you get more experience in advance, you can have criteria. But I think it's important to know who you work best with and who you don't. But you don't know that if you're just starting out. You have no idea. You may think you do, but until you've done your work, I think at least 3 to 5 years, you don't know yet who you work best with. I don't think I started figuring out until the 10th year. Okay. I thought I knew before then, but it took me some time. I don't know, maybe I'm just slow, but it does take some time. I know that. So get in there, help people solve their problems with what you do, and see what happens. Learn about yourself, evolve as a spiritual based, light based business person, and let it all evolve and grow. And by the way, remember, just because you're helping people solve one problem today, you're meeting them at this certain level, doesn't mean you'll always be doing that same thing. You don't have to be married to it, okay? I've done all kinds of different psychic readings throughout the years, and all kinds of different settings and for different people. And, maybe the essence of the work is the same, but the outer structure is not. And it will probably be the same for you if you stay on your path. Alrighty, until next time, I'm wishing you much prosperity and success in your own spiritual, holistic, psychic, and light-based business.